partnership that I'll share some things with this group about our partnership. Thank you, Minister. It is such an honor to be here at this inaugural Enugu Tech Festival. The energy here is truly inspiring, and I extend my sincere appreciation also to Governor Umba, who has departed the scene already, and also to the Honorable Minister of Youth, Ayodele Olawande, as well for your presence. To the people, and especially to the youth of Enugu, though, a city steeped in rich history, I bring greetings and best wishes from the U.S. Mission, from Ambassador Mills, from the Embassy and the Consulate where I work in Lagos. For generations, Enugu has been synonymous with the Coal City slogan, a testament to the industrious spirit that fueled Nigeria's progress. And today we stand at a pivotal moment, a threshold of transformation, brilliantly encapsulated by the theme of this festival, Coal to Code. This theme signifies Enugu's bold strides, moving from traditional industry to a future powered by the limitless potential of technology and innovation. It speaks to the adaptability, resilience, and forward-thinking spirit of this country as it embraces a new era of digital opportunity. Enugu stands at a dawn of a tech revolution fueled by the ingenuity and dynamism of its people. A vibrant startup ecosystem is taking root here, positioning Enugu as a rising star in Nigeria's tech landscape, currently ranking among the top 5 states for tech innovation. A round of applause for all the innovators out here. This burgeoning community, comprising over 100 startups and thousands of tech professionals, signals a powerful shift towards a digital future. And this transformation is not happening in isolation. The Enugu state government, the federal government, providing strong commitments to fostering this technological advancement through strategic initiatives. This digital revolution is also a potent engine for job creation, offering meaningful employment opportunities, particularly for the region's vibrant youth population. And I think the ambitious goals of this ETF to increase tech-driven employment significantly and train thousands of youths in tech-related jobs within the next year underscores that potential. The governor's significant investments in smart schools demonstrates a clear vision for enhancing the quality of education and preparing students for the demands of the digital age. And federal government programs like the 3MTT that we see so much evidence of in this room, with its focus on training fellows in Enugu and around the country, further solidify this commitment to developing a skilled tech workforce. And it's in this context that I want to talk about how the United States government is so proud to be a partner in Nigeria's technological journey. We recognize the immense potential within Enugu and across the country. Our focus on ensuring a safer, stronger, and more prosperous America translates into initiatives that bolster our own technological capabilities while also seeking partnerships that promote stability and economic growth globally, recognizing that a secure and thriving world benefits all of us. This commitment to mutual prosperity is a cornerstone of our engagement here in Nigeria, and I want to talk a little bit about ways we do that. The role of the U.S. tech giants in Nigeria's digital transformation through investments in infrastructure and training creates an ecosystem where Nigerian SMEs can thrive in the digital age. And the flow of U.S. venture capital into Nigerian tech startups, accounting for approximately 60% of the total despite some regionally declining trends, highlights the immense potential and innovation we see in Nigeria's small businesses. This commitment to fostering technological advancement at the grassroots level is crucial for long-term sustainable growth. Our American spaces, such as the American Corner, located here in Enugu, serve as an invaluable community center, providing access to technology, promoting U.S. higher education, and fostering cultural exchange. The Enugu American Corner offers a range of programs designed to empower young people, develop their ideas, enhance their leadership and their entrepreneurial skills. The U.S. government also supports Nigerian-owned enterprises and entrepreneurs, including those in Enugu, such as Greenidge Technologies, exemplifying the very finest of local innovation. Our Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, a national program that has helped 890 entrepreneurs stand up businesses, a number that we are looking to grow this year to 1,000, just last month had 18 of its graduates travel to the United States to build contacts and relationships to help grow their businesses, a point that was reiterated just last week in Lagos at the very successful Science of Trade conference. And of course, there's the U.S. tech giants, such as Microsoft, Cisco, Amazon Web Services, Google, Equinix, and many others, who are actively investing in Nigeria's digital transformation, contributing to the development of digital infrastructure, providing training opportunities for young people. And I think everyone here could agree that these companies represent the very tip of the spear of the global tech talent. And that these companies that really truly represent American excellence better than any other, in any other way, want and need to be here in Nigeria and in Enugu should tell you something about Nigeria's importance globally. For the last 2 years, the United States and Nigeria have taken our bilateral tech partnership to new heights. In January 2024, our then Secretary of State visited Abuja and Lagos with a message of partnership that he summarized simply as, "Africa has shaped our past, it is shaping our present, and it will shape our future." Then in April, we held a U.S.-Nigeria Binational Commission in Abuja, co-chaired by the Nigerian Foreign Minister, by our Deputy Secretary of State, where 10 senior U.S. representatives discussed a wide range of bilateral and regional issues with Nigerian counterparts, civil society, and private sector representatives. This included a standalone tech conversation that brought together government and private sector actors to identify lines of effort that continued the upward trajectory in our bilateral tech partnership. All of these efforts culminated in September and January. September with the Global AI Conference that we co-hosted with Minister Tijani and his team in Lagos, when we brought together more than 400 stakeholders to discuss the promise and pitfalls of artificial intelligence and the key role that Africa must play in its development. And then again in January, Minister Tijani traveled to Washington, where he met with the Deputy Secretary of State yet again and held a strategic tech partnership, or a strategic tech dialogue, to further identify priorities and opportunities for partnership. That is to say that we have a long trajectory, are on a long journey of commitment to Nigeria's tech future. In terms of next steps, I want to highlight two. In part, what brings me to Enugu today is a greater focus in the U.S. mission, in the embassy and in our alone. And so where better to do that than in a place like Enugu? Out more partnerships at the sub-national level. And we see so much opportunity happening here in Enugu and a number of other states across Nigeria. And so I had to come here, I had to see it for myself, and I'm already a believer. Secondly, in terms of next steps, last year our government signed a memorandum of understanding to create a commercial and investment partnership, or CIP, one of just 5 that we have in the region on the continent, which is a mechanism that can continue these partnerships up here today, one in this audience, that is making it clear to me and to the world that the time is now for these and other kinds of partnerships, a reflection of a true technological renaissance in Enugu that is taking place and across Nigeria. For these and other kinds of partnerships, a reflection of a true technological renaissance in Enugu that is taking place and across Nigeria. Partnerships, shared determination, these obstacles can and will be overcome. Strategic partnerships, shared determination, these obstacles can and will be overcome. The collaborative spirit in this room and across Enugu's tech community is a powerful drive impact that the coal-to-code revolution will have on this state and beyond. So let the connections you make here today blossom into collaborations that shape the future. Let the ideas sparked in these halls become the solutions that address the world's most pressing challenges. The future, most definitely, is not something to be feared. It is something to be shaped. And right here in Enugu, you are shaping that future every day. Thank you.
Please appreciate him once more. Enugu, we are now into the business of the day. And on that note, permit me to recognize the men who have shaped the tech industry in Nigeria, Africa, and exported it to the rest of the world. Permit me to recognize the man behind Invest, Dr. Ike Chioke, a man of many colors.
Group Managing Director, Afri Invest West Africa, and Chairman Board of Trustees, Enugu State Security Trust Fund. You're welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir. At the same time, the brain and the founder of Tennessee Technology and Genesis Tech Hub, Dr. Kingsley Eze.
You're welcome, Dr. Eze.
Why are you not appreciating the men you are looking up to? Another vibrant tech engineer, the founder of Zen Finance, Mr. Ugochukwu Arono. My man, welcome. We also have the CEO of RISE, founder and CEO of RISE, building wealth for generations upon generations. I'm talking about Eke Elanya Urum from the United States of America. At the same time, the founder, GEM Initiative, IT consultant, Tennessee Professional Services Limited, Chiamaka Udo Onwoka. We also have a that has made name in the world of computers, breaking so many records in Nigeria, in West Africa, and the continent of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Leo Stan Ekeh, Xenox Computer.
You're welcome, sir.
CEO, Digital Equity Africa, former country director, UK Nigeria Tech Hub at British High Commission, Nigeria. Can you stand up? Let them put their hands together for you.
And not forgetting Chairman, Science, Technical and Vocational Schools Management Board, STVSMB, Dr. Amaka Ngene. Since we are talking tech, we have to recognize her too. You're welcome.
The man behind Enugu State's Board of Internal Revenue, Mr. Ekene Nnamani. I welcome you.
You're welcome. Our tax umpire.
Let's invite Choice to invite the next speaker. Please, all the ladies in the house, can you put your hands together for her?
Why all the ladies?
Because they have to appreciate their gender person.
I don't get it. Anyway, before I invite the next speaker, permit me to recognize the great Nigerian students here today. Please put your hands together for yourselves. So I also want to be very partial. Great IMT students. Great IMT students. Make some noise in the building. In case you're wondering why, that is my alma mater as well. So if I say ETF, I want to hear you say C to C. ETF. ETF. Are we happy to be here today? Can you please put your hands together for Enugu State, for the governor, the ministers, commissioners, everyone here present today. Please appreciate them. And those who have made this event a wonderful one, please put your hands together for them. Okay. All right, I'll like to hand the microphone over to my co-host for now. Thank you.
Please appreciate her. Put your hands together for her. You know, everything about tech has to be sequentially done. And being on this stage, we are subject to adopt some certain protocols. Now, I want to invite the next speaker. After that, I will invite Joyce to call on the Tennessee chief to speak to us. Ladies and gentlemen, the man I want to call has made name in the world of technology. He is the chairman, Xenox Group, and CEO of Konga.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the face of computer in Nigeria, the face of computer in Africa, Mr. Leo Stan Ekeh. You can continue clapping.
Thank you, thank you. I thought a lady was going to announce my name. Before I start, I want to tell you that my group is the only group in the world that has 5 CEOs who are women, and they are delivering. And they've done this for over 15 years. It's not a mistake. I want to appreciate everyone here. The governor who is not present, but if you don't mind, in tech conferences, not too much talk. I came late because I thought you were going to break cola nut, because it has nothing to do with tech conferences. They do it in Igbo land. But I want to appreciate my brother-in-law, who is a tech genius. That's Professor Barth Nnaji. I have to recognize it. The governor, we chatted and is gone, but I really want to appreciate one man from it. Please, can you give me a round of applause? I've never seen a commissioner with so much energy, passion, love for his state. I've never seen. And I promised Prince that I will be here, and I'm happy I'm here. Now, I want to talk on technology. 95% people here are Igbos, isn't it? You are Igbos. Fine. And I'm sure you people know I'm an Igbo man from Imo State. And the technology that is sitting in Nigeria today, somehow, we hold the stage. But last night I changed my topic because 2016, there was a conference organized as Organiru 2016 and did a roadmap for Enugu State. Last night, the organizer is here. Last night, somebody called me, Stan, where are you? I said, I'm in Enugu. He said, what are you doing in Enugu? And I said, look here, they have this tech conference. He said, Stan, why are you wasting your time? I said, are you insulting the new governor? He laughed. He said, what are you going to tell them? You didn't tell them 16 years ago because I used your material for Abia State sometime. And they haven't moved. And in less than 10 minutes, he forwarded me my speech, which was online. And now I called my tech guys. I said, okay, look here. Some people here are analog, some are digital. Now I say, okay, go and photocopy it. Sorry, go and print it out and give to some people. But if you go to today on conga.com, you will see that speech. So I don't want to repeat myself. If you go to zynosTechnologies.com, that speech is there. And if you go to tdafrica.com, you will see it. But they will take them down on Sunday. So if you are digital, you are tech-driven, please go online to any of those sites. You will read it, so I don't want to repeat myself. Let me inspire you people. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So you know there's no miracle in technology. And technology is not all about robotics, artificial intelligence. You must start from bottom up. The Igbo man wants to know what is there for him to survive. A lot of you don't want to ride bicycle, isn't it, a motorcycle? You want to ride Ferrari. Fine, so you need to pay attention to the details. So I'll spend about 25 minutes and I'll leave. So somehow I built the biggest tech group in the continent. From retail distribution to local assembly to e-commerce. I pioneered e-commerce in the whole of Africa. Now, you don't go to the war front without being prepared, except you bought a coffin already. Who you want to be tomorrow, you plan it from childhood. I'll tell you a little about me. It's not published yet. I said I will not take alcohol, so I never taken alcohol all my life. I don't know how beer from childhood. But I didn't say you shouldn't take alcohol because my children take. But don't take too much. I've never tested cigarette. I don't know how it tastes. But if I was smoking, I would be taking cocaine. And if I was drinking, I would have been alcoholic. I was a mass servant and a chorister in Catholic Church as a young man. But I told my parents at a young age, I'll be a disruptor. And as an Igbo man, why I went to school is because whoever I am today, they will not agree. If they want to finish me, they say that's illiterate. So that's why I went to school. And I wanted a profession where there's no argument. Technology is either you're right or you are wrong. And I had that incident with one of your citizens here from Enugu who blackmailed me. I'm sure some of you read it for fraud. And there's also something I decided. I said I won't borrow from the bank. So I've been in business for 40 years. Because a lot of you start being scared because you think you need big money to do business. And I don't owe any person in the world. But you can't plan all this without preparing for it. You need to be spiritually strong. And there's another thing I added for the young ones, because I attend their weddings as chairman, and the next 3 weeks, you people scatter. I said I will only have one wife. No polygamy in my family. So if I fight with my wife, if she's wrong, I apologize to her. If I'm wrong, I apologize to her. But a lot of people don't know this. They think I'm ruthless. And I didn't want to marry a domestic wife. So when I saw the right woman, I benched her. She read mathematics. She's more intelligent than me. I wanted to marry somebody more intelligent than me. And she's an accountant. She has an MBA. And that lady pays me every year about $30 million dividend. Now, I just thought I'd dance around this so you understand there's no miracle. Do I have a computer science degree? The answer is no. When I finished a degree in economics, I wanted to read computer science. This is 45 years ago. I started in Cork City University. You have to do postgraduate. I got a job first month I started in Lloyd's of London. But when they observed me, you must differentiate yourself from where you come from. Every woman wants to know what is in need for him or her. So they observed me in school, and they say when I ask questions, I ask commercial questions. I was doing systems analysis and designs, user interface. And 3 months they spoke with my parents. My mother studied abroad. And they say Africa will not have commercial quantity of computers for you to survive. And they say, Stan, you have two gifts. Some people can develop, they cannot sell. Some people can sell, they cannot develop. But you have the rare two gifts. This course is not good for you for Africa. Stay in London, finish, or America, and then go back. But let me summarize it. I withdrew from that course to go and do risk management in City and Nottingham University. And after that, I knew I was going into business. I went to do LLM in business law, Guildhall University, London. I finished the course, but I started the business. So I'm bringing you to whoever you be tomorrow. It must be somehow power spiritually. Mistakenly, Nigeria ran into foreign exchange problem, and my uncle was giving my school fees. He sent the money to my account. I started the business. I was the first person to bring remote control music set. I sold to people like Christian S. and Edwin Wokwe and all the rest of them. And from there, I brought Amstrad into Nigeria. And from there, I brought Apple. Apple actually wanted me to work for them. I said, no, I headed to Nigeria. So, week of school fees, of exam, they say, Stan, you committed, you pay 100% before exam. By that time, some Nigerians were owing me, so I couldn't pay. I had some money, but if I paid them, I would remain in London. Okay? So I called my wife in the morning and said, sorry, I don't need this degree certificate. I've gotten the knowledge. So I left and then launched my business. If you look at the payoff of my business, what it says is to anticipate the future. I computerize including the newspaper in Enugu here. There's one person called Onyema who was a writer. Onyema, what's his name again? Chief Onyema, who was a publisher. Dibe or something like that. That man bought oranges and brought to me in my office in Lagos to appreciate me. Quite big. Onyema, Dilibe, that's him. He called me, you are an evil man. I want to come and appreciate you. What do you drink? I said, I don't drink anything. So I bring something. He bought me Gada must go of oranges. Okay. And then I changed the media industry. I pioneered technology in the media industry. Daily Times, Newswatch, Tribune, Sketch, your own newspaper, Vanguard, Punch, all of them nationwide. Statesman, I did all of them. The Chronicle, all of them. And then I moved into the publishing industry. And I did Henneman, Longman, Evans, University Press, Africana, FAP. I came back to Nigeria with Afro hair. But I ran into stress because I don't sleep. But I'll come back to where when the doctors tell you, don't work so hard, you will die. I'm going to 70 next year. But I've not been sick for 24 years. My mother was a dietitian. And this morning, I couldn't go to the gym for security reasons, so I gymmed inside my suite. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner, for paying the bill. He's the only man. I told him, I don't give you time and give you money because I don't attend village meetings. I'm not in church committees. My money, my time is my wealth. So I came to Enugu out of due respect for him and the governor and him, because I can't use my jet, come here, park here, pay hotel bill, come and talk under sweat, and then go. Okay, so having said this, I don't say you should go this way, but I'm editing life is situational. Now let's go into the main course. Hope is not a strategy in 24th century. It has nothing to do with your pastor. Your pastor is running his own business. Because if you don't pay tithe, he will not expand. He has a roadmap, and it's dependent on your wealth. And he's a good salesman. A lot of you part with the last cash and go outside after church service to beg for transport to go home. That guy is strong mentally. Now, I'll tell you how I built my group so that you are not scared. I told you technology differs. Today, 90% of women here are wearing Nigerian-made clothes. Forget the tag. And they look beautiful on them, isn't it? Including the men. It's technology. Before, if they buy this size 10, if you did 3 size 10, they are different sizes. Are you with me? Fine. So, Zynox is not my first company. Task was my first company, because when I came to this country, if you quarrel with your wife, the government will form task force. There's a fight on the road, they form task force, so I called my own task systems. And it was Abacha as a student who called me chairman. He thought I was intelligent. I wasn't. Okay, so I launched my first company to computerize all these papers. What is next? I got involved with the bank as chairman, as a young man. I launched insurance company, lifestyle insurance company, Guardian Trust, sold it, made money. I launched TD. TD Africa, I brought Microsoft to Nigeria. I brought HP to Nigeria. I brought Lenovo to Nigeria. I just brought Elon Musk to Africa with Starlink. So I canceled the trip to Dubai for the sake of this young commissioner and the governor, because somehow I have a percentage of the internet in UAE. Okay. So this is basically what I did, because for a country to be branded, you need to have foreign confidence, like the American guy spoke. But for you to deal with the first 50 listed companies in the world, the 500 first, you have to be credible, you have to work for it, because the automated, if you lose money, they don't hear your story. So I control directly and indirectly about 31 first 500 companies in the world, their partnership. So it comes with a pain, a lot of pain. I sleep, the day I sleep 3 hours, I celebrate. And I've done this for over 35 years. So I just want to advise you that you need to work hard. But let me tell you how you make money in technology. If you go to artificial intelligence right now to make money, you die of hunger. You know, when I came, I had an exposure on software, not hardware. But it's common sense. In life, for you to achieve, in business, 40% of you must have knowledge of the business, 40%, and passion. You must have 30% of spirituality, because you are in Africa. Okay? Now the remaining 30%, can somebody guess? Common sense. And there's something I want to leave with you people. Don't follow my script. Remember I said you can drink, but drink sensibly. You can smoke, smoke sensibly, enjoy yourself. I used to be a disc jockey. And last year, I celebrated my wife's 60th birthday in my house in London. And when I took over the DJ box, every person went mental. I used to do part-time. I had a nightclub. But in Africa, if you say you have a nightclub, they believe you are irresponsible. Isn't it? So no person identified me with it. Stag Ali was my staff. Okay? So few of us were the radicals in London that led to Capital Radio. Community stations offered. I was a student. They weren't paying me. It was owned by an American, Caroline, Radio Caroline. So remember, for you to be a DJ, you have to be taking ganja, cocaine, or something like that to hide. And that's why I told my son, do a radio station. I'm retiring there. So congafm.com. You Google it. It inspires you. It's 24 hours. Okay, so having said this, the money, where it starts, first of all, you need to have a computer. You need to be compliant before you start going to AI core. This is my brother, Barth. If he succeeded, he would have been the richest person in the world. And 9 years ago, I nearly committed suicide. I lost money in artificial intelligence and robotics. You need to go. I own the biggest warehouse in the city of Lagos. I bought that warehouse from First Bank. Everything cost me 9.7 billion. I kept that warehouse open. Ekeh just introduced somebody, a friend of his, who went to hire 3 of them. I wake up in the morning, I'm like mental. I lost $28 million of my cash, not bank money. So I packed the warehouse. The rent on that warehouse every year, he knows, is $185 million. They pay me, but I left it up. So when you are chasing wealth, please, technology gives you money. People don't know how much you have. Okay, and you are in a country where the leaders don't want to pay tax, so it favors you with technology because they are analog. Now, having said this, there's a young man from Imo State, because when they come, you collect all the money and say you are coding. Everything has its own season. AI codes for you tomorrow. But you need to have the foundation. Are you with me? If I was speaking here, if I had a assistant speaking here, I'll have a better American accent than that guy. And everything I speak here in English will be translated in Igbo, and I will start straight away here. If I brought my system here and speak through it. That's the power of AI. Okay? And that's why people are defrauding you. It could be your neighbor speaking to you like an American. Are you with me? You party with your credit card. The last boy I released 2 weeks ago, he defrauded Conga with an American credit card, American woman. But when I had a story, I said, let me go to the police station and see the guy. Smart guy. He defrauded Conga, 4.5 million. He ordered 47, but the analytics caught him. But they had delivered Mass Pro iPhone 2. He sold one to the delivery agent. Something he bought for 2.2, he sold it at 1.35 million. We hacked him, his account. I found 2,000. In 24 hours, he was paid 1.35 million. I said, I want to see this guy. I went to Babi Station and met him. He said, tell me your story. Where did you study? He was one of the people on social investment from Warri. He was wearing designers. Part of the money he used, he was wearing designers. And he bought a wristwatch the same day, 350,000 Apple Watch. In 12 hours, he spent 1.35 million. And what remains in his account is 2,000 naira. Are you with me? If you had a screen here, I would have shown you the guy. I called the father. First, the only 100,000 he spent was to the girlfriend he claimed was his sister. When I called the father said, no, I never had a lady. I never had a girl. I only have boys. So he agreed with me. I said, okay, the father should pay you. You have a smart son. Invite him back to Warri. You and your wife should kneel down for him. Beg him. The boy will be successful. Are you with me? Now, in technology, you can make so much money, but you need to select where you make money, you enjoy it, you have your freedom. His friend, I visited him, one of the latest stores in Lagos. He will sack every retailer in FMCG in another 12 months. He's from Imo State. Went to one of the best schools. They work together in America. I visited him. I visited the second warehouse 2 days ago. He told you? Fine. Small boy, he acquired 14,000. I was to buy the warehouse. 14,000 square meters of warehouse. In 2 years, he's opened 128 stores. Buku, have you heard about Buku? In Lagos. He's their age mate. He's turning over 17 billion a month. That's the guy who wants to hire my warehouse. I told him if the warehouse was in Imo, I'll give you free. So he's employing 2,000, but he's going to 1,000 stores. So he will decide the price you sell to him. If you don't sell to him, you cannot sell in the market. But what is he using? Power of technology. Are you with me? So I'm not saying you are computer literate, you go and sit in one office coding. Jesus will send money to you. It doesn't work like that. Nigeria is still moving this way. Like I tell people, if the country embraced 230 million Nigerians, we are not selling 800,000 computers in a year. I have a witness from here. And I'm the biggest. Okay? Except when we do projects. But let me tell you, you should be very clear who you want to be. A lot of you are confused. Now, when you see people like Obi Kubana, no, you know, when I talk about him, people say, Stan, why are you supporting Obi Kubana? I say, Obi Kubana is in business. The business he's making is not the hotel. Are you with me? It's not the drinks. He's a social media influencer. Are you with me? If you want him to dance here, he dances here, it will go viral, isn't it? The Igbo man doesn't understand that. So when you see, what's Cubana chief priest? Cubana chief priest was his barman, but he's extremely popular. He's making money as a social media influencer. That's where their money is. So when people tell me some of them are carrying drugs or whatever, I just laugh. I think they're belittling them. He's physical here, that's why I'm talking to him, mentioning it. Okay? Now, when I built Zynox, when I came to this country as a young man, I said I wanted to achieve 3 things. 1, transitioning Nigeria from analog to digital democracy. And God bless me, I moved Nigeria to that. So when they talk about ZTAB, the government paid me well, $270 million, 2010. I did the job. The second one is credible database for the country. If I want to invest in Enugu right now, what data, what statistics do I have to invest here that will give me return on investment? The people selling pure water don't sell 1 million a day. So I talked about population. I didn't bid for it, but they invited me. Even when I went, they spoke. They said, this cannot be your stand. They're arguing themselves. This cannot be your stand. But finally, that's the big fight. There's nothing that comes easy in the third world. Because people in power have their brothers they want to do favors that don't know anything about that project, but they give it to them and they are destroyed. But when you're in technology, you are competent, you understand the system, fight. I never lost a war. Including Femi Falana, I'm going to deal with him. He took me to court 4 times for an Enugu man I never met in my life. Who said I defrauded him what? One of my companies defrauded him 165 million. Technology does not lie. We gave him credit. He wanted to run away with it. We collected our money. And they started fighting. And now started blackmailing us. Now he has agreed. But it lasted 11 years. Or 165 million. My child in school can give him that money 3 times. And if my people made a mistake, I will kneel down publicly on video and give him 3 times that money. But having said this, let's not lose track of it. I designed Knox in order to domesticate technology, for you people to have confidence that it's not a miracle. And I employ over 3,000 directly, over 100,000 indirectly. So I just want you to believe in yourself that a small me without address, you don't know my father, you don't know my mother. They never had political appointment, that I used to have 198 engineers in Shell for 14 years. That I control Chevron, Total, okay, for 30 years. So technology does not make noise. And I always advise the youth, money shouts, but wealth whispers. And you are young Igbos. Rich people don't make noise, except they inherited the money. Are you with me? You must remove this cap. If you are worth 10 billion, there's another person worth 40 billion next door. Are you with me? So calm yourself. If you have money, you don't make noise because you worked for it. Now, there's one I left, which I wanted to tell you before I come down to the final. Also, as a decision, I said I will not attend any seminar until I'm 70. So I just say I want to see how far God can take me till I'm 70. I don't want to be adulterated. So the only time, remember I schooled abroad, I always quarreled with my professors. Because I'm in London class paid as a foreign student. Remember the fee for local students and foreign students. And the professor is telling me about Netherlands. He's telling me about Ireland. And I always call their attention. I say, Prof, I paid more fees than these are local white guys. You need to tell me a little bit about Lagos and Africa. So we are not best of friends. So I said, okay, let me be on my own. I never watch a film. I've never watched a movie. Okay, my children watch. Sometimes they hijack me in London, I should follow them. While I'm there, I'm articulating the next new business. But I'm not with them, but I have to pretend to have a family. Okay, but in 2010, Harvard invited me, when I finished with INEC, to come and be the keynote speaker of the global conference. So I gave their talk. They invited me next year, free for a course. I got to New York. I said, let me see if my God is able. So from next year, I'll start attending seminars and co-abroad. Okay? So why I'm just saying this, that if little me without an address, coming 40 years ago, could be somebody. There was no digital record. The day I registered my company, the next day I went to my father. My father was an only child. 5:30, I woke him up. I said, Daddy, there's a business I'm entering into. He said, what kind of business? I said, listen to me first. I'm going into that business as an only son and as an orphan. My father started crying. 5:30 in the morning. He said, what kind of business are you doing? I said, that business, you can't add value. My mother can't add value. My village, you won't add value. He said, is it a criminal business? I said, no, it's computer business. He said, what of money? I said, I don't need money at the moment. I'm going in, it's either I succeed, I go from there. He started crying again. I said, calm down. So he said, what of money? I said, I didn't take my LLM exam. But he said, you told me you were about taking an exam. I said, no, something happened. I'll tell you the big story, but trust me. But you will get a degree. I said, yes, I'll get a degree. So that's so. I don't have a mentor. I don't have an advisor. My senior brother is the king of my place, more intelligent than me, but no person advised me. So what I'm saying, when we started, it was completely analog. Today, if you go to Instagram, you see a lot of inspirational statements that advises you, isn't it? Are you people analog? So you should listen to them. Don't go to the dirty ones. Take, what do you call innovation? What Prof started, if he didn't go public, if I talked on it, they wouldn't know about him, and the person in the press will know as the pioneer he's out. If you're a child of a poor man, this is the only time, and that's what I tell you boys. I came here 9 years ago and talked about knowledge power. Technology is one. There's a first most important principle, finishing school. I'm here. My sister, who is sitting next to Barth, if all of you sit here and she gives you 30 minutes, you now understand how a woman should sit, how a woman should dress. Are you with me? How a woman should talk. That's what is finishing school. That's the start. How do you use cutlery? A lot of us don't know. So how can you be successful? How can you be successful? Okay? People power the computer. People make the nation. So the school system, unfortunately, the governor is not here. It's a very simple thing. I have centers in university. Imo State University, I train 200 entrepreneurs every 3 months. You know, the Igbo man cannot give his friend, if he's analog, give his friend what he wants to write to his girlfriend to write to her. Because his boyfriend will take over his girlfriend, will take over the girlfriend, isn't it? Fine. And if you credit an Igbo man account, say there's money coming, he must learn how to use that technology. So today, the 200 people, every quarter, I open account for them. That's where I transfer money to them. So you must know how to open account. So they have learned online banking. If I transfer, you can't withdraw. It's not possible. So while we are chasing technology, Mr. Commissioner, there are fundamentals to building and retaining wealth. Are you with me? Fine. And these things are easy. Bring people who know she knows. Because when you see my sister work, you see how she carries herself. That's why some ladies are not married. Because your wife is your best trainer. And when you are married, part of the success is the woman you marry. If you marry a woman who wants to carry expensive bags, you are not preparing for the future. Okay, I think it's becoming very volatile. I'm not saying you don't enjoy the best thing of life. In 2000, I celebrated Y2K. My Rolls Royce was Y2K, specially built. I brought it in here. You know, we made money Y2K because Nigerians were analog. They thought everything would collapse. So I knew it wasn't going to collapse, but we are the people selling the technology. So we made money. Now, I don't want to take more time because others will speak. I just changed my topic. Go online and check what I said last year. That's exactly what you are doing today. The final analysis is before you sleep. Igbos are bringing bad name to the nation. And we are not rich. If I tell you people now, somebody take microphone, tell me an Igbo billionaire. Tell me one Igbo billionaire you know. I'll tell you how much it's worth. Obi Kubana, did you tell that you're a multi-billionaire? Obi Kubana is still a billionaire in Naira. If Tinubu doesn't want it to be a billionaire, the value of the currency is down. God bless you. He's my small brother, so I can think about him. You know, as you grow up, Don't mortgage yourself to Godfather. Are you with me? This is what is holding Igbo land today. People like him that I will kneel down and beg to come and rule a state. If they don't pass through godfathers who are illiterate, they cannot succeed. So, remember I told you? You need to know who you want to be. Not every person in a family is successful. But if God gave you the money, you must assist others. Are you with me? And there's nothing abroad. A lot of our friends who are abroad are stranded. There is a transition to AI. So Canadians, Americans, Europeans are hiring Nigerians to fill the gap. A lot of those people don't know they are working through agents. The day the contract is cancelled, they are on the street. I made money here. I took over Ghana as the biggest guy in Ghana. Okay? The opportunities we've not tapped. If I sell 5 million computers in a year, I'm the richest man in Africa, and it's cash. You have a guy here, Tennessee. I'm sure in Enugu, you people don't recognize Tennessee. Okay, you do, okay, you're showing them love. Now, Tennessee is a monster out of this place, cash monster. But you wouldn't know him because he dresses simply, isn't it? He doesn't use escort. He's not carrying mobile police. But he has cash value. So, having said this, I told you I'm from Southeast. Okay? I'm from Imo State. But remember, Enugu is our capital. Technology. When I gave you people internet, your governor called me. What's it called? What's the governor? Not Ugwai. Sullivan. Sullivan called me. I came in here and put technology for Enugu. We planned on 1,000. We forgot that the highest number of tertiary education concentration is in Enugu State. Immediately we activated, we launched like this. The whole system went down. Your commissioner started harassing me. I said, we need to upgrade. They said, how can they upgrade? They paid for life. You paid me 165 million. I distributed wireless cloud around Enugu. I said, upgrade the bandwidth. Every day they were wasting my time, calling me on the phone, this and that, arguing. They weren't seeing Sullivan. I didn't know they weren't seeing Sullivan. They were talking about that. I entered playing. But do you know why the Enugu people disrespected me? When I came, I took airport taxi. I arrived at government house. He came, he took me to Executive Council. I talked to them. The next time I came, it was airport taxi. So that was my value to then commissioners. So when they started wasting my time arguing, I came in here, went into their office, wrote a check for the whole money. The government paid me, gave it to them. I said, take the infrastructure, take everything. 3 weeks after, I landed that INEC contract, $270 million. So if I was wasting my time, and they became very destructive, they would go to press and say Leo Stan cheated them. Are you with me? For $165 million, because I came in a taxi. The same thing happened in INEC. Because I went in a Toyota Corolla, I didn't know they were observing me from front. They asked chairman, is this a man you want to give this contract? I don't have a Jeep in Abuja. My MD has Jeep. My MDs have Jeeps. I use Camry. That's Camry. In the last 30 years of my life, what I use is Camry. I use it for 8 years. I'll change to another Camry. So it was later, one of the commissioners told me, say, sir, you know why we didn't want to give you that contract? He said, how can the man using Corolla? We watch you the first day you made presentation, good presentation, you left. Second time you came Corolla. We said, why should we give you this contract? But today in Enugu, we are going to confront with Chinese, isn't it? You have Chinese building in the state. Fine. Now, when you see a Chinese, you believe he's more intelligent than you, isn't it? Fine. Okay, let me land here. I've said enough. I've taken more time than I should. Okay? I just want to plead with you. Personally change your orientation. You can't believe in God and don't want to be somebody. Money, I said, is a visitor. I also told you wealth whispers, but money shouts. Are you with me? Build your personality to be a world-class person. You must be credible. In Africa, I own one of the highest credit ratings. That's what your brother from here wanted to spoil, but it's not possible. So if you give me a contract of $100 billion, as far as it's a genuine contract, I get the funding. It's credibility. People like Tennessee are world-class, credible people. And I'm happy you came from Enugu. I want to stop here. Because I've taken more than 25 minutes, if you note. Because my cost of coming here is too expensive. So I needed to impact on people. God bless you.
You can give him a standing ovation. Wow. I think we share two things in common. I don't drink alcohol, and I don't smoke. And he said if you must be rich, 30% of the principle is for you to go spiritual. He didn't talk about Okite. No, Ijawele. Spirituality has to do with fervent prayers. No, Ijawele. Spirituality has to do with fervent prayers and believing that only God will. Okay, we are getting there. 69. Ladies and gentlemen, while he was making this didactic, educative, and informative speech, one of our sons, who is making us proud, walked in. Whether you like it or not, Nigeria has 3 major ethnic groups. And in different fora, our people are doing well to represent our tribe. And that is why when you are in a gathering of discussion with several persons from different tribes, you can make reference that this person is an Igbo person. Obi Kubana walked in. You can see he has ladies' hand fan. Anything a rich man does is scientifically correct. Assuming he's an ND student from IMT that has that fan as a guy. And I love one thing about him and his brother. They always behave like twin brothers, even when one's senior one. But I will not tell you the senior. Honorable Ekeh Iyegbu, you're welcome. Obi Kubana, no. I know you will make some of our youth millionaire today. Also, na ya kwadolobia. So I'm sure if you have the power to project the future, the statement from the computer guru in Africa, Leo Stan Ekeh, would send some senses into you. And let me tell you, he did his MSc in risk management from Nottingham University. That is Leo Stan Ekeh. And if you must succeed in Nigeria as a businessman, it's important you study risk management because the government is not stable. Now let me invite one of our brightest, the father of robotics, the man who is giving electricity to the people of Abia State and so many other states. We are proud of him because he's making us proud. Former Minister of Power. Any former minister who goes to event with his wife doesn't cheat on his wife. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Barth Nnaji, the founder, robotics. If you know his word, you will stand up until he gets to this place. DK Monweya, he knows me and I know him. It's just that I'm not a millionaire in dollar. My man.
I think my brother Leo Stan has to be on his way. He has to go to Abuja. So we wish you good travel. I am so happy to have heard from you. All the excitement that you've given to everyone, not just the youths, but everyone. God bless you, and will continue to bless you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to stand on already established protocol. I'd like to start by really applauding and appreciating the governor and the government of this state. One, for this incredible convention center. I know that for many years, people would pass and it looked like an eyesore, and within a span of less than 2 years, it's been transformed to this. God bless him. I also applaud him and the Honorable Commissioner for Science, Technology, and Innovation for putting together this incredible program. I mean, when you look at all the youths from various places, the future is truly about you, and it's happening here. So I'd like to say congratulations, congratulations, and congratulations. So let me start by, this is a tech show. I was a professor at the University of Massachusetts in the United States. And during that time, this was after finishing my degrees and doing postdoctorate in artificial intelligence and robotics. So we established the first major research and development laboratory in automation and robotics at the University of Massachusetts. And primarily what we were doing was researching artificial intelligence. This was in the early 80s, before people began to understand really what artificial intelligence is about, and robotics. And so eventually we were doing work for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and I used to represent the US side with the Europeans, led by some Germans, in research on artificial intelligence. I can't get into the sort of things that we were doing, but most of what we were trying to do was for commercial use, but invariably they get channeled into military application. But that's the way these things work. It was while I was at the University of Massachusetts that when they were setting up the government, interim national government, one day I got a call that they wanted me to come and be a minister. Just like that, there was nothing like application, no campaign, nothing. I was just invited to come and take this position. It's not like this was the tail end of Babangida administration, getting into that interim government, but they had tried before to invite me to come and be Minister of Industries. And I said at the time, the way they were describing what they wanted me to do was simply not going to be the way forward. We are talking about forward motion, not reinventing the wheel. And not, if you want to build a car, you go to Model T as developed by Ford. No, you have to think futuristic, the type of thinking that Tesla has done. So, but that time, I decided to come home and take the position of science and technology. But upon my arrival, I found out that there was no Ministry of Science and Technology, and that we had to restart the Ministry of Science and Technology because it had been abolished a few years before. What was it that was happening? It turns out that when a government comes, they will decide, this Ministry of Science and Technology, what is it really about? So when they scratch their head and they can't find an answer, they cancel it, they abolish it. But the government coming in, the decree they set up to bring us in, they said, we think that the Singapore people and Chinese people, they are prospering because of science and technology. Therefore, we should do science and technology. And that I was the guy to do it. And I was 36 years old. So talk about Minister of Youth that was here. That was about that age. And so the next day, I left US, University of Massachusetts, to come to Nigeria. It was a good thing it was during the summer, because if it was during academic year, I would have to go through a process. But I came. And the next day, we were sworn in. So, but there was no ministry. So I began to think with my small team, what could we actually do to change this understanding? First, the people in the cabinet, that is the government people, didn't understand what it was about, because that's why they would cancel. And then you had the population that depended on what the people in government would do. So, first, I had to re-establish the Ministry of Science and Technology, worked with the late Akpangbo, who was Attorney General at the time. We worked tirelessly, day and night, with my team to go to bring back the various agencies of the Ministry of Science and Technology. The good thing was that the ministers were kind enough not to resist, not to fight. They simply gave up the agencies, knowing fully well that they didn't belong to them. So we stitched together what the Ministry of Science and Technology became. Then we said, we have to educate our people in the government to make sure that they don't abolish this ministry again. And what was it about? That you have to show how research and development will lead to commerce, to businesses that now become industries. And the economy will grow because of that. That's how the Western world, that's how the Asian worlds, that's how they have grown. So we began just literally teaching my colleagues what was going on, how it would work. And I believe that we were successful because till today, the Ministry of Science and Technology, since 1993, when I was minister, it has not been abolished. And so I'm actually quite happy that now not only do you have Ministry of Science and Technology at the federal level, but in the states, and that people are beginning to understand what it's about. That the creation of jobs can only come by adopting technology. It's just not possible that, okay, you can be a farmer, you can do farming, but even farming today is techy. If you go to a place like Songhai Farm, you'll be amazed at how technology has seeped in and is driving agriculture. Technology. So, but I found out quickly that one of the main problems with establishment of industry in Nigeria that time, because if you're going to go from research, development to industry setup, the industry has to work. But the industry was having problem because there was no electricity. And so I said, that's something I have to somewhere come back to. Anyway, my colleague at the time, you won't believe it, was General Sani. My colleague at the time, you won't believe it, was General Sani Abacha. He was Minister of Defense when I was Minister of Science and Technology. E-design. In fact, the first aeroplane that was designed this way is the Boeing 777. So the Boeing 777 was totally e-designed and tested. Before, can you imagine having to build prototypes of the various components, assembling them, testing them? It used to take at least 10 years to design a new aeroplane. 10 years. Because of the rigorous tests that would have to be done. Automobiles take many years because of the rigorous tests that would have to be done. Automobiles take